Buddy was a good boy. He was the kind of dog who brought joy to everyone he met. He was a golden retriever, 12 years old. His fur was a bit grayer and his steps a bit slower, but his heart was as young as ever. That is pretty old for a dog. But Buddy didn't mind. He loved his family. Every wag of his tail showed his endless affection. Buddy lived with a mom, a dad, and a little girl named Lily. Lily was Buddy's favorite. She had a special place in his heart. They played fetch in the park. Buddy would run after the ball with all his might, bringing it back with a proud look on his face. They cuddled on the couch. Buddy would rest his head on Lily's lap, feeling the warmth of her love. Buddy loved Lily very much. He would follow her everywhere, always wanting to be by her side. Every day Buddy and Lily would go for walks. These walks were the highlight of Buddy's day. They walked to the park. Buddy loved the open space and the fresh air. They walked to the ice cream shop. Lily would get a cone and Buddy would get a small treat. Buddy loved the smell of waffle cones. It made his nose twitch with excitement. Life was good for Buddy. He had a family that loved him dearly. He had a little girl who was his best friend. He had all the belly rubs he could ask for. Each rub made him feel cherished and happy. What more could a dog want? Buddy had everything he needed to be the happiest dog in the world. One day, everything changed. Buddy and Lily were playing in the park. Lily threw a ball. It went far. Buddy ran after it. When Buddy came back, Lily was gone. Buddy looked everywhere. He sniffed the ground, he barked and barked. But Lily was nowhere to be found. Buddy was lost. He didn't know where to go. He wandered the streets, scared and alone. The world seemed big and scary without his family. Buddy missed Lily's laugh. He missed the feel of her hand on his head. He missed the warmth of his bed. Most of all, he missed being loved. Days turned into nights. Buddy slept wherever he could find shelter. He ate scraps of food he found on the ground. He was tired and hungry, but Buddy didn't give up hope. He kept looking for Lily. He kept looking for his home. He knew they must be looking for him too. He followed his nose. He listened for familiar sounds. He barked at every passing car, hoping it might be his family. But it was no use. Buddy was still lost. Even though he was scared, Buddy remembered what his family taught him. Be brave, be kind, never give up hope. So Buddy kept going. One day, Buddy was walking down a quiet street. The sun was setting, casting long shadows on the pavement. The air was cool, and the leaves rustled gently in the breeze. He was tired and his paws were sore. Each step felt heavier than the last, and his eyes drooped with exhaustion. He had been wandering for hours, maybe even days. He just wanted to go home. The familiar scents and sounds of his neighborhood were a distant memory. He missed his cozy bed and the warmth of his family. Suddenly he smelled something wonderful. Bacon! Buddy followed his nose, the aroma giving him a renewed sense of energy. His tail wagged slightly as he trotted towards the source. It led him to a small house with a red door. The house looked warm and inviting, with flowers blooming in the garden and a soft light glowing from the windows. Sitting on the porch was an old man. He seemed to be enjoying the evening, lost in his thoughts as he gazed at the horizon. He had kind eyes and a gentle smile. His face was lined with age, but his expression was warm and welcoming. He was reading a book, and a plate of bacon sat beside him. The smell was irresistible, and Buddy's mouth watered at the sight. The man looked up and saw Buddy. His eyes softened even more, and he set his book aside. "Hello there, boy," the man said softly. "Are you lost?" His voice was gentle, filled with concern and kindness. Buddy wagged his tail weakly. He was too tired to do much more, but he felt a glimmer of hope. The man patted the space beside him on the bench. "Come on up. You look like you could use a rest," he said, his voice inviting and warm. Buddy, hesitant but hopeful, went to him. He took slow, cautious steps, but the man's kind demeanor reassured him. Maybe, just maybe, he had found a friend. The old man shared his bacon with Buddy. It was a simple gesture, but it meant the world to the hungry dog. Buddy had been wandering the streets for days, lost and alone, with no one to care for him. The taste of bacon was a reminder of the kindness that still existed in the world. He gave Buddy fresh water and a soft blanket to lie on. The old man, whose name was George, made sure Buddy was comfortable. He knew that a little bit of comfort could go a long way in making someone feel safe and loved. Buddy felt safe for the first time in days. The warmth of the blanket and the gentle touch of George's hand reassured him. He could finally rest without fear, knowing that he was in good hands. The man, whose name was George, took Buddy to the vet. Buddy had a microchip. This tiny piece of technology held the key to Buddy's past and possibly his future. George was hopeful that they could find Buddy's original family. George helped Buddy get back in touch with his family. The reunion was bittersweet. Buddy's tail wagged with joy, but there was a sense of uncertainty in the air. But when they came to collect Buddy, Lily was not with them. George noticed the absence of the young girl who was supposed to be Buddy's best friend. They explained that Lily had moved to another country with her mom. The family was heartbroken but had no choice. They couldn't take Buddy with them. They could no longer care for Buddy. The family looked concerned, knowing that they had to make a difficult decision for Buddy's well-being. George looked at Buddy's sad eyes. He saw the pain and confusion in them, and his heart ached for the poor dog. He knew what he had to do. George couldn't bear the thought of Buddy being alone again. "I'll take him," George said, his voice full of warmth. He knew that Buddy needed a home, and he was more than willing to provide it. And just like that, Buddy had a new home. George wasn't Lily, but he was determined to give Buddy the love and care he deserved. He gave Buddy love and care. Every day, George made sure Buddy felt cherished and valued. They went for walks, shared bacon, and sat on the porch together. These simple moments became the foundation of their bond. Buddy learned that family can be found in unexpected places. He realized that love and care could come from the most surprising sources. He had a forever dad now. George was more than just a caretaker. He was Buddy's new family. And Buddy, the good boy, was finally home. He had found his place in the world, right by George's side.